everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. I was just drinking something. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we'll do Hindu analysis of 16th June 2025. So let's not waste any time and let's start the analysis with the first article of the day, which is related to special economic zones. Page number 10, I think this is a part of editorial. Is this a part of editorial? I think so. Do check it out. So why have special economic zones rules been relaxed? We'll talk about some other editorial as well today. So this particular thing, rules have been relaxed. There are certain keywords here in this article. One keyword is semiconductor. So India is pushing for indigenous manufacturing of semiconductor. There was a time when not only India but in fact, major portion of the world was reliant on China. But COVID-19 taught us some lessons that we cannot be reliant on one particular country, especially for manufacturing of something as precious as semiconductor, which is dominant in electronics market. You talk about computer, robotics, anything, phone, mobile phone, you need semiconductor. We cannot be reliant on China. So in that regard, special economic zones rules have been relaxed, especially for those, sectors and industries which are catering to semiconductors. So we'll talk about all these things. Good morning, Shashikala. And here there will be certain keywords. What are these special economic zones? These are, as the name suggests, specially demarcated zones where activities are going on. The major purpose of all these activities is export of goods and services. All the things or most of the things which will be made in these particular zones, they are not for domestic consumption. It's not like if you have a SEZ in Gujarat, the purpose is to sell the goods and services in Gujarat only. No, the basic purpose is export. Now things have been amended. Things have been changed. We'll also solve a PYQ related to SEZ. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on special economic zone. So good morning Priya, Mamta, Ashish and others. So let's start with the discussion. Background and context. Government is pushing for semiconductor production. As we have discussed earlier, we cannot be overly reliant on China or so to say any country. We have you cannot. And this is true for anything, any kind of relationship. Once you become too reliant on someone, they break your heart. So India is making efforts to boost domestic semiconductor. You can see this thing. Semicon India program in that regard, because we are trying to indigenously produce semiconductor, we launched this particular scheme, this program, Semicon India program. Remember the year 2022, outlay 76,000 crore. So there are certain changes which has been done. Good morning Achal, good morning Shriparna, good morning Kartika, good morning Ravi Verma. Good morning everyone. Cool. So Semicon India program, when was it launched? 2022. Outlay 76,000 crore. You will remember each and everything, don't worry. Just listen to it like a story. So what is happening? Why semiconductor? Why India is focusing so much on semiconductor that we want to make it on our own and we cannot be dependent on China? Because you use it anywhere and everywhere. Smartphone, computer, smart TVs, car. You see, you name it, any electronic equipment, you use semiconductor. So we want to make it on our own. And as you can see here, China produced around 35% of world semiconductor in 2021. And we want to reduce this particular reliance on China. Again, you can see pandemic highlighted the risk of supply chain concentration because the world became closed. Relatively closed when COVID-19 came. Now there are certain keywords which are important from exam perspective. Good morning GK Gaming, like closed economy. What is a closed economy? Closed economy is an economy where neither import nor export takes place. That is a closed economy. None of the countries in the world are perfect example of closed economy. Brazil is one example. North Korea, many people say, is very close to closed economy, but none of the countries are closed economy. We came very close to being a closed economy during COVID-19 time because of the restrictions, etc. Globalization went out of the window. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, everything went out of the window during COVID-19 time. So again, recent government reforms, these are important. Do remember, we are talking about SEZ. We are talking about the reforms introduced in special economic zones. These zones are specially demarcated zones where the goods and services which are produced are primarily meant for export, not for domestic consumptions. Cool, sir. SEZ Act was initially passed in 2005. SEZ rules were passed in 2006. Now the government is amending SEZ 2006 rules. They are not deleting or scrapping it. So there are difference between amendment and deletion or scrapping. So on June 9, 2025, Ministry of Commerce, they announced changes to SEZ rules to 2006. Remember these years. They are actually important. Now, what are the things which they have changed? See, minimum land which was required earlier, if you wanted to make semiconductor and you are an industry setting, you're setting up for semiconductor manufacturing. In that scenario, initially you need to have land acquisition of 50 hectares. They have reduced it to 10 hectares so that even smaller investment could be made here. So this is one change they have done. And domestic cells, what we have discussed in the core definition of special economic zone, that they are specially demarcated zones where tax exemptions, all these things are given, but the goods and services which will be produced, they are primarily meant for export. See here, government has even allowed domestic sale, that whatever goods and services you are making inside SEZ, you can sell it in domestic market. You have to pay some duty, but you can sell some in the domestic market. So thereby changing or altering the definition of SEZ to a certain extent. SEZ earlier was primarily for export. Now even domestic sale is allowed to a certain extent. Cool, sir. 2 SEZ approved Micron Semiconductor in Gujarat and Hubli in Karnataka. Long-term impact, we don't know. We have to just wait and see what happens here. But this is actually a welcome step. Good morning, Rishi. Good morning, Shashmita. And let's see how all these things pan out. Now, I will show you some questions. All these questions will help you in remembering stuff. This is PYQ1, which was asked by UPSC in 2010, related to Special Economic Zone Act, SEZ Act it is. Now, I have told you the things. Just have a look at these options. Don't worry if you're getting the answer wrong. Just try to deduce the answer. What is the basic purpose? Which came into effect, SEZ Act, in February 2006 has certain objectives. Development of infrastructure facility, promotion of investment from foreign sources, promotion of exports of services only. 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So let's try to understand. One thing which will help you a lot, and you can take 30 seconds here. Focus on option elimination. Focus on something known as option elimination. That will help you a lot. So SEZ Act, what is the thing which is wrong? Always also focus on extreme statements. What we have discussed, the primary function of special economic zone. So Priya has given the answer, Ravi Verma, Rishi, Shashmita and Ravi Verma. Cool. So promotion of exports of services only. This is extreme. Services of goods as well. Goods and services. Export of goods and services, not export of services only. So this is an extreme statement. You can eliminate 3. What am I saying? You can eliminate 3. Just eliminate B, C, D. You will be left with A, 1 and 2 only. Even if you have known, again, if you go back and if you rewind me, you will understand what I'm saying here. What we discussed, good morning, Shayada. What we just discussed, that this SEZ, Special Economic Zones, specially demarcated zones, and their purpose is the goods and services which they are manufacturing, they are primarily meant for export. They enjoy tax benefit, and these SEZ, because they enjoy tax benefit, even foreign sources, they invest here. So again, normal domestic rules, they don't apply in these SEZ. So remember these points, and the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Hope you understood, people, what we have just discussed. Third statement is wrong. Promotion of exports of services only. It is both exports of goods and services, not only services. So if you eliminate third, you will get the answer, that is A, 1 and 2 only. Hope you got it. Cool. Let's see MCQ2. Now, this is a tricky portion. SEZ, etc. People don't like to read much. So, if you practice a lot of questions, you will understand where we are going with this. Again, think properly, use option elimination and remove extreme statements. Remove extreme statements. Hello, Lalita. Today we'll talk about black box, Lalita. Black box article is also there in Hindu. So we'll talk about black box. It's actually not black, it's orange. Why is it orange? How does it not get impacted by, the heat and everything? How it sustains 1000 degrees Celsius? We'll talk about it. I think Ankit sir has also made a video on black box. You can have a look at it. But yes, today also, we will also talk about it today. So Priya has given the answer. Ravi Verma has given the answer. Ravi Verma reminds me of a painter, Raja Ravi Verma. With reference to special economic zone, SEZ are primarily meant for export promotion. This we have discussed, continuously discussed. So we know first is correct. So By that thing, we can eliminate C. SEZs can now sell in the domestic market after paying applicable duties. This is correct, but maybe you have forgotten about it. Let's forget that you know it. Let's see third one. SEZ rules 2006 were repealed in 2024. I have just told you it's not repealed. We continuously talked about it. It's amended. It's not repealed. Third is wrong. Third is an extreme statement. So eliminate third. You are now left with A and B. One only, one and two only. Second is correct. We just talked about it. This is one of the major amendment. SEZ primarily meant for export. Now the current amendment which has happened, that has allowed SEZ to sell their goods in domestic market and they have to pay some duty. So this is again an interesting question. The answer is B, 1 and 2 only. As stated by Priya, Ravi Verma, Shashmita tried it. Rishi also answered it correctly. Mamta, Ashish, Aanchal. Okay, yes, today we'll discuss it in detail, Lalita, don't worry about it. 2006 over, replace in 2000, not repeal the rule, exactly. It did not repeal it, it just amended it. Next article of the day, this is the second article, India-Cyprus relationship. Page number 14, Cyprus, one of the largest island in Mediterranean Sea. Although it may look to you a very small island, I will just show you the map and then we'll have a discussion on this. So this is Cyprus. Cyprus, an island in Mediterranean Sea. UPSC loves to ask questions on Mediterranean Sea. I will give you one PUIQ also related to places in news, etc. So Cyprus, their capital is Nicosia. Our Honorable PM Sir has gone here. Now Cyprus and Turkey, they fight over certain issues. Cyprus is divided into two parts, North Cyprus and South Cyprus. In North Cyprus region, Turkey dominated people are there. Turkish influence is very large. In South Cyprus region, Greek influence is very high. So Turkey means Cyprus in a way is divided into two parts. You know, Turkish Cyprus or North Cyprus and South Cyprus. North Cyprus dominated by Turkish people and South Cyprus dominated by Greek people. And in general, Cyprus, and now what has happened is we support South Cyprus or the Greek people in a way going against the Turkish influence in North Cyprus. Now Turkey does not like it that much. Obviously, they will not like it. The other bone of contention is many people say that our Honorable PM, he has gone to Cyprus to show even Turkey the support we have for Cyprus rather. So because Turkey supports Pakistan, so obviously we will support Cyprus. Quid pro quo. There is another issue here. Here there are certain countries, Armenia, Azerbaijan, they used to fight over a region known as Nagorno-Karabakh. Nagorno-Karabakh. When I say this, I feel like, you know, puking. Okay, so Nagorno-Karabakh, very cute name. So Nagorno-Karabakh, Armenia, Azerbaijan, they are fighting over it. Now Turkey, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, they are one collusive group and we are supporting Armenia. We are one of the largest arms importer, like we export arms to Armenia. Cool. So you can see the alliances here. Turkey, North Turkey, we don't support, we support South. Means North Cyprus, we don't support, we support South Cyprus, Greek origin people. And in general, like Cyprus, you know, is like most of the people in Cyprus, South Cyprus, etc., they support Greek origin. Many people do. In general, the basic consensus is against Turkey in Cyprus. That is what I'm trying to tell you here. And there are two different groups which has formed here. Now, if we talk about India-Cyprus relationship, you can understand and you can see that Cyprus is a very small region here. Has 2/3 area of Cyprus. Okay. Yes, so what we are discussing here is Cyprus looks like a very small island, but I have just told you it is one of the largest island in Mediterranean Sea and it is actually very, very prosperous. So they invest a lot of FDI. A lot of FDI, foreign direct investment, comes from Cyprus to India. So this is actually good. They invest in a lot of sector, although they are very small, but there is still scope for improvement. And we are very thankful to Cyprus for their continued support as far as FDI is concerned. Our Indian diaspora is also there, although in small number, but they are there. Yoga is a bone of contention. No, yoga is a intermediary link between Cyprus and India. Yoga is anyway very famous. When is International Yoga Day celebrated? If you know it, post it in the comment section. So in that regard, we have talked about some aspects related to India-Cyprus relationship. Now let's talk about what is happening here. Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir, he has arrived in Cyprus. Then he will go to Canada. And like for G7 meeting, we have talked about the mnemonic for Canada also. I've asked you a lot of questions. I just asked you International Yoga Day. If you know it, post it in the comment section. Second thing, G7. in the previous Hindu videos or analysis, we have also talked about the mnemonic for G7, how to remember G7 countries. Cool. So from Cyprus, he will go to Canada. From there, he will go to Croatia. So reception, again, you can see here, meeting with Indian diaspora, all these things will happen. And this Indian diaspora, they supported us a lot when the things were going on in Kashmir. So Indian diaspora in Greece, like Cyprus, is very, very favorable of India. And that is but obvious, but it's not that but obvious. You will understand when you will read geopolitics. So what I'm trying to say here is, this Indian diaspora, since we support, the Greek origin people, Cyprus wholeheartedly supports India. Turkey does not like it that much, and that's why many people believe Turkey sides with Pakistan along with other issues. Statements by PM Modi, sir. You can never say for sure all these things. Why I'm telling you this is, I will tell you, around 1965 India-Pakistan war happened, second India-Pakistan war. At that time, Indonesia supported Pakistan. On the other hand, when we created NAM, non-aligned movement, Indonesia was one of the founding members. So in geopolitics, it's very tough to, align when countries will start supporting which particular country. It's very tricky scenario. Juice GF. That was the mnemonic. Juice GF. Cool. As Achal, Lalita, Shashmita, Chandu, Mamta, like Shashikala and everyone said, June 21 International Yoga Day. So he is talking about, Modi sir is talking about areas like trade and investment. We can deepen our ties. Gratitude to Indian community for support during what happened, Operation Sindoor, etc. The visit is seen as geopolitically important, especially as a subtle message to Turkey that if you keep on supporting Pakistan, we'll keep on supporting, Cyprus and Armenia. Okay, coincidence with Israel-Iran conflict, because of which Modi sir's, the whole route was altered. And next destination, he will go to Canada and then to Croatia. And many people, okay, I will not go there. Now, the main and the important part, from Main's perspective, India-Cyprus relationship, they got independence in 60. We established a relationship in 1962. Unlike, let's say, Israel, we established diplomatic relationship with Israel very, very late in 1990s. That did not happen in the case of Cyprus. NAM first meeting in Belgrade in 1961. Very good, Priya. Both countries share warm, friendly ties. You can see here, India has a high commissioner in Nicosia, and they have a high commissioner in, or they has a high commissioner. You can read these things. Political support. Cyprus supports India's position on Kashmir. Not only this, they also support our candidature in UNSC permanent, membership. Like we talk about that we want to become a permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Cyprus supports that. So all these things are very important. India supports Cyprus territorial integrity and a peaceful resolution of Cyprus issue. Turkish influence should be reduced in Cyprus. That's what India thinks. And that's what Cyprus is very thankful for. So Cyprus, as we have discussed, even though they are such a small island, even though they are one of the biggest island in Mediterranean Sea, but you can understand they're a small country, right? They provide a significant source of FDI to India. Sectors of investment, real estate, IT, financial services and construction. All these points you have to write it in your mains answer, but there is still scope for improvement. And that's what the author is saying. Now, culture and people-to-people ties. Yoga is a very important influence. You can see it somewhere. Yoga events and Indian festivals are celebrated regularly in Cyprus. As we have discussed, even in fact, you talk about within India, there will be two community. You will find them anywhere and everywhere. One community from Bihar. Second, Marwadi people. I have seen Marwadi people in Manipur, in like Assam, Silchar, anywhere. Marwadi people from Marwad region of Rajasthan. Similarly, Indian diaspora, you can find them anywhere and everywhere, including Cyprus. Strategic and global cooperation. This is very important. This is very, 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 very important that Cyprus supports India's bid for permanent membership in UNSC. Do remember it. This is a critical point. Cool, sir. Now let's solve third MCQ of the day. This is related to semiconductor manufacturing only because that is the previous article which we did on SEZ, Special Economic Zone. That is an important article. So let's solve MCQ 3. And then we'll go to, I think, MCQ 4. Which of the following best explains the need for India to promote domestic semiconductor manufacturing to meet the rising demand for digital payment systems, to increase the export of agricultural equipment, to reduce over dependence on a single country for supply, to boost the tourism and hospitality sector. Good morning, sir. Apni Keman Achan. I'm good, Sanjana. Thank you for asking. Where are you from, Sanjana? So Ravi Verma has given the answer. What was the basic need for India to promote domestic semiconductor manufacturing and thereby amending SEZ rules 2006? We want to reduce our over dependence on a single country, that is China. So the answer is C, as stated by Ravi, Shashmita, Lalita, Mamta, Shaida, Neha and Priya. Very good. Cool, sir. MCQ 4. Which of the following statements best describe the India-Cyprus bilateral relationship? Priya, Rishi, everybody answered it. Cool. Cool, Sanjana. So, India-Cyprus bilateral relationship, best statement, like you have to choose the best possible option. Cyprus does not support India's stance on Kashmir. Cyprus is one of the least significant investors in India. India and Cyprus share strong diplomatic ties established in early 60s. India does not have an embassy or mission in Cyprus. Let's say you become an IFS officer and you can write in the comment section what's your preference. Service preference. You want to become first, top priority. IAS, IPS, IFS, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service. You can post it in your comment section. If Foreign Service is your first choice, maybe you will be posted in Cyprus. So the answer here is C. India and Cyprus share strong diplomatic ties established in the early 1960s. This is the best possible option here. Cool, sir. PYQ 5. UPSC 2024. So this is a question which has been asked in 2024. Since we are talking about geopolitics and there is a combination of geography and international relation here. So try to solve this question. You may feel like, sir, this is out of syllabus. So out of syllabus questions will sometime come in UPSC as well. So be ready for these kind of bouncers and solve this question. Try to solve this. So Priya preference is IPS. Very good, yaar. Mamta IS IFS. Achal IPS IS IFS. Very good, yaar. IS, IFS, IPS. So, Lalita has given the answer. The longest border between any two countries in the world asked by UPSC in 2024 is between Canada and USA. A. Fine. Let's talk about the third. This is one of the most important articles of the day. And page number 10, what are flue gas desulphurization units? Very, very important. Government has done something. On June 4, we will see, India has done away with decade-long policy of mandating fuel gas desulphurization. Now, what is the basic meaning of this fuel gas desulphurization? So these are some units which, are installed in thermal power plants to take care of SO2, which is one of the secondary pollutants which is emitted. Dipali, IPS, IFS, very good, yaar. So now government has said that you don't need to install fuel gas desulphurization units in thermal power plants because it's very costly. But if you don't install it, then what will happen to the SO2 emission? Who will treat these SO2 gas, so to say, which is a very potent, greenhouse gas, and we have to take care of it. This SO2, it's very, very I will tell you, I will just show you something and you will understand. It's one of the major greenhouse gases, and let's try to understand it. It's a very technical article, but very important. Environment, we anyway know 15-20 questions every year comes from it because IS and IFS, they have the same pre. So let's try to understand this article. And if you are able to understand it, then we'll solve some questions. So see here, June 4, there is a Principal Scientific Advisor Ajay Sood sir. And do also say, at the end of this article, we'll talk, what is your view? Has government done the right thing or the wrong thing? Based on the limited knowledge you will have. So fuel gas desulphurization unit, there is no need for different thermal power plants to install it. Now, first of all, to understand this issue, we have to understand fuel gas desulphurization. What they do, they remove SO2 from this fuel gas. What is flue gas rather? This is a byproduct. When you are burning fossil fuel, you're burning coal, then there are different gases which are emerging or which are getting released rather. Flue gas is one of those gas, and inside flue gas there are combination of different gases including SO2. Now what this FGD used to do, they used to remove SO2. Fine. there are different types of FGD which uses different mechanism to remove SO2. Like you have dry sorbent, you don't have to do PhD here, just understand it. So limestone is being used, they can use this, they can give you this. Limestone is used as a raw material in FGD unit to remove SO2. That is a correct answer. Different types of limestone. So this is powdered limestone in dry sorbent. Then this is limestone slurry, that is semi-liquid limestone to convert SO2 into gypsum. Again, just listen to it like a story. Seawater is also used to absorb SO2. So these are different mechanisms via which SO2 is removed by flue gas desulphurization unit. Now government says that thermal power plants don't need to use it and they can do away with it. Why? Because this is very costly. But again, now the question will be, congratulations Sanjana, what happened to Sanjana? I have cleared prelims 2025. Oh, congratulations Sanjana, and make me proud, make us all proud. And you can also be a part of our mains residential program. You can call us. There will be a number if you want to be a part of it, because all the people who have cleared pre, they'll be there. So you can be a part of it. Cool, cool, cool. Plus, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. You can contact any one of us. Anyone at StudyIQ. So let's talk about this. People, let's focus. We'll talk about all these issues. We are, becoming a community now. So SO2, why it is dangerous, contributes to global warming, respiratory issues, leads to formation of PM 2.5, PM 10. We'll talk about these particulate matter in other articles as well, or other videos as well. Study shows 15% of India's PM 2.5 is due to coal. 80% of that comes from secondary. Now, there are different meanings. Secondary particulate matter formed from SO2. So there are some primary gases also. Like when you burn something, it gets released. Then these gases, they combine with each other and they form something new. That is, those are secondary gases. Same way, secondary particulate matter. Some particulate matter or particulate matter, they are released directly from a particular substance. They will combine, they will release something else. That is secondary particulate or particulate matter rather. These are tongue twisters, phonetics. Okay, so you can understand SO2 is dangerous. That's what this article is saying. Now we don't need to use these FDG units. Now let's try to understand this whole, hierarchy. And I pray God you cleared the mains exam. Very good, Sanjana. Cool. So now let's try to understand this whole fuel gas, whatever you want to pronounce it, desulphurization units. 2015, government said that all 537 coal-fired thermal power plants, they have to install FGD units. Cool. Initial deadline 2018. They extended multiple times that please install it, thermal power plants. We cannot release SO2 in the atmosphere. It's very, potent greenhouse gas. Then current deadline is 27 to 2029 that you can, you install these FGD units. As of August 2024, what has happened? 537 thermal power plants, only 39 has installed this desulphurization units. Now, December 2024, again, deadline extended by 3 more years. 2025 study, the current study which we are talking about, the office, this advisory office, they have said that no need of installing FGD units, just let's do away with it. Now, the point here is why they are saying no need of desulphurization units, because it's very costly. See the cost, 1.2 crore per megawatt for 97,000. You can do the calculation. We are not here to do CSAT, but you can understand why government went away or has removed these FGD units and why they're talking about it. What talking about it? They have given the verdict. Concerns over increasing electricity tariffs. So if FGD units are installed in thermal power plants, our electricity units or the cost will also increase. Union Power Minister highlighted the need to balance health, tariff and climate goals. We are a poor country. We cannot afford these FGD units. Maybe if, UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change supports us, maybe then we'll think about installing these FGDs in our thermal power plants. Experts argue, the environmentalists, they are saying that if you look at on a kilowatt hour basis, it is only increasing the price by 0.72. So it's not that much. Please government, don't do away with these FGD units. God knows what will happen to these increased SO2, how it will impact our environment. Is there an alternative to FGD? There is no alternative. So what should we do? Now, whatever SO2 was earlier treated, they will not be treated. They will be released into the environment. FGDs are the only available technology to remove SO2. So immediate compliance is needed to meet public health and clean air goals. Now, what is your view on this? Sanjana, Rishi, Shashmita, Mamta, Shashikala, Aman, Dipali, Rishi, do you support this particular initiative of government? We'll solve this particular question related to fuel or flue gas desulphurization. But tell me, now you people know something about this whole thing. Once you watch this video again, you will understand the whole bit of it. Even if you have understood 60-70% part, awesome. Smokes comes out from Tuticorin Thermal Power Station in Thorukudi. So what is your view on this whole case? Do you support government's measure that they have done away with this flue gas desulphurization unit, or do you think this is a step backward? Again, we keep on talking about economic development versus environmental conservation, a debate, a fight. And again, this is an example that there is a debate between economic development and environmental conservation, and many people feel they lie at the opposite end of the spectrum as we keep on talking about it. Let's say economic development is here, environmental conservation is here. But we have to focus on the midpoint where we have to balance economic development and environmental conservation. That point will be known as sustainable development. Are we moving towards sustainable development when we are doing away with flue gas desulphurization unit? The answer is no. We are moving towards here, economic development. We are discarding environmental conservation. So let's see what happens. Cool. So keep on tracking this. Hope you understood. This is actually a very, very technical article. Many people will skip it, but I don't want to skip it. I don't want to do injustice with my work. Let's solve this question. Which of the following technologies are used for flue gas desulphurization? Dry sorbent injection, we have talked about limestone, seawater, etc. Wet limestone treatment, seawater absorption. For exam, yes, we support government action. Government has to reconsider the decision to meet our net zero commitment. Oh my God, this is actually a very well, way of putting it, Ravi. Shashmita, it should be increased. You people are so intelligent, just like a wow. First of all, let's try to solve this MCQ now. Today there are more than 8 questions which we have to solve because the articles are so important, bro. So there are questions I have also increased today. So all these are correct. Dry sorbent injection, powdered limestone they use to treat SO2. Wet limestone is semi-liquid limestone. Seawater absorption as the name suggests. So all these 3 were there. These are the technologies which are used for flue gas desulphurization unit. The answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. If you will go back, you will see. PYQ 7 asked in UPSC 2018. See this question. This is a verbose question which is related to environment, which is related to 6th mass extinction. Have a look at this and try to solve this question. Hope you can see the whole options. The question is so verbose. Sometimes this happens. In exam, you may feel like, oh my God, this question is so large, I will leave it. The bigger the question, in general, the questions are easier, not that tough. Deadline in 2018, it pushed up to 2017, now only 39 installed, and now they have scrapped Priya. So nothing installed, everything gone. So 6th mass extinction is often mentioned in the news. The basic premise of 6th mass extinction is due to human-induced changes. Due to anthropogenic changes, lots of flora and fauna, they are getting extinct. That is 6th mass extinction. 6th mass extinction. And again, 6 mass extinction, 6 extinction written twice. So the answer is this: mankind's over-exploitation of resources, fragmentation, climate change, fragmentation of natural habitats, destruction of ecosystem. So this is little written in somewhat twist, some words have been written multiple number of times. The answer is D. Large-scale cultivation of genetically modified crops, wrong. Fear of possible collision of meteorite, wrong. Then widespread monoculture practices, wrong. The answer is mankind's over-exploitation of resources has led to, extinction of flora and fauna. So the answer is D, 6th mass extinction. So many animals and, plants, they have gone extinct in the last 60 years. Page 10 editorial, Mind the Gap. So we have talked about Global Gender Gap report published by World Economic Forum. India's rank is 131 rather, out of 148 countries. Last year it was 129 out of 146 countries. The author is saying that, bro, let's not think too much about, improving rank on Global Gender Gap report. We did not do very good. There are 4 parameters in Global Gender Gap report. We'll talk about this. Oh my God. Okay. दिख नहीं. I can understand, Lalita. The question is so high. Where? Where is, who is showing it? Okay, cool. So I forgot. So the point is, the author, you people write so much in the comment section, I get distracted. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that author is talking here that we don't need to think too much about improving the rank in global gender gap report. Just like you people don't need to think about clearing UPSC. You know, just do your work every day, carpe diem, give your best every day, rest things will take care of itself. Same way India needs to work on political empowerment. There are 4 indicators in global gender gap report. We need to focus on these 4 indicators, and one of these indicators where we have performed very poorly is political empowerment. And yeah, so political empowerment, there we have not performed good. Bangladesh performed good, and that's why they are ranked in 20s, I think 24. So we need to focus here. We brought women's reservation bill, and we brought it in 2023, but we'll be implementing it in 2029. This is not correct, bro. This is just like, you know, I said that I love someone, but I will marry you in 2031. Who knows what will happen in 2031? So let's talk about this. Global gender gap report, we have talked about it, I think on 13th or 14th. You can go back and revise this. India's rank, we have talked about this as well. It has dropped 2 positions, but the reference frame has also increased. Last year it was 146 countries. This year it is 148. India's overall gender parity score 64.1. The more we are closer to 100, the better we are performing. That's what you have to understand. One of the lowest in South Asia, our score. Cool, no issues with that. Again, the author is saying focus here, focus here. We are doing good in one particular indicator, very good in one particular indicator, economic participation and opportunities. So this is improving, but this has actually not improved at all. Educate, these are the 4 indicators. Remember, UPSC can and may, they have already asked on global hunger gap, like hunger index or something. They have already asked indicators. So we need to know these indicators: economic participation, education. Even if you don't remember all these things, just remember economy, education, health, polity. That way also you can eliminate options. So that will help you. And Bangladesh ranked 24 globally, Pakistan 148. Very good. So yes. So now, performance by category, economic participation, that's what I was telling you, that India has performed better than last year. So we are doing comparatively okay. Labor force participation, and again. So educational attainment scores improved slightly due to positive shift in indicators. So again, what we have talked, 4 indicators: economy, education, fine. Political empowerment, very bad. Significant decline. In fact, when you will do research on this, there are different organizations, ADR, Association for Democratic Reforms, etc., which do research. They say that apart from TMC, Trinamool Congress, and TDP, there's an Odisha party, BJD, I think, Biju Janata Dal. These 2 parties, they have lots of women MLAs, etc. Apart from these 2 parties, most of the other parties, they're not that concerned when it comes to political empowerment of women. TMC and BHD, they are doing good. Biju Janata Dal. Anyone knows about Biju Janata Dal? So significant decline noted in this category. That's what World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report is saying. Women in parliament fell from 14.7% to 13.8%. Women in ministerial roles dropped from 6.5 to 5.6%. All these data, they are substantiating the point that we have to work on political empowerment. More and more political parties have to follow the path of TMC and BHD, not in every regard. We are not, it's like, no, we are just saying when it comes to empowering women in political sphere, other parties can take lead from TMC and BHD. Naveen Patnaik. Yes, I'm explaining it more. Don't worry. So, Women's Reservation Bill. This is what we were talking about, and Rishi was laughing about it. They passed it in 2023. And see, this is a government work. Introduced in 1996, this Women Reservation Bill, 33% reservation. That means if there are 100 MPs in Lok Sabha, 33 MP will be women. Reserved 1/3 seats, as they are saying. Implementation delayed. Why we are talking about BJD and like Odisha? I think in panchayats and municipalities, they have reserved 50% seats for women. And not only Odisha, there are other states also which are following. In 3rd tier of government, they are following it. But they have a problem when it comes to the upper hierarchies. The 1st and 2nd tier, the MPs and MLAs. So implementation delayed until government is like, there is no census. So how can we do it? So we'll do it in 2029. 2029. Seriously? So call to action. India must build on gains and address deficiencies. That's what this author is saying. That let's not focus on improving global gender gap report index, everything. Let's focus on political empowerment. Let's try to increase number of women MP and MLAs. Global gender gap report and India's ranking will take care of itself. So we don't need to work too much. Political parties, they're urged to increase women's participation when it comes to, if they are so enthusiastic when it comes to local panchayats and municipalities, they are giving 50% reservation to women there. Why not 33%? Right now only. Why wait till 2029? That's 4 years from now. What will happen tomorrow? I don't know. Cool. Underlying message, improving India's ranking should not be the primary goal. The focus must be on achieving genuine holistic gender parity, especially when it comes to through consistent policies and political commitment. Cool. Now let's solve MCQ 8 related to Global Gender Gap Index 2025. Anyone here ever thought of joining? Right, bro. Women empowerment wala article. No, so the point is, Lalita, it's here in the women empowerment article, they are saying there are 4 indicators. In 3 indicators, India is doing comparatively okay. The political empowerment indicator is the one where India needs to work on itself. And forget about the ranking per se. We need to increase number of women MPs and MLAs. Just like different political parties, they are very enthusiastic about, giving women 50% reservation in panchayats and municipalities. Same thing they can do in when it comes to Lok Sabha and state legislature. Why they are waiting till 2029? There was a women reservation bill which was passed in 2023, but they said that since we do not have enough data right now and since we need census data, so after census 2027 is carried out, we will conduct or we will do this women reservation bill. So it was like, it's not implemented right now. It has been put in limbo and that has been the stance earlier as well. So that is the whole summary of that article. So consider the following statement regarding the Global Gender Gap Index 2025 released by UNDP. So this is wrong, right? First statement is wrong. We know it is not released by UNDP. It is released by World Economic Forum. So if you eliminate first, that's it. You don't need to know anything else. You can solve the question by eliminating first option. It measures gender parity across 4 key dimensions. India's overall gender parity score improved. It did not improve, it decreased. That's why our rank also decreased from 129 to 131. So the answer is B2 only. Now, page number 6, today's Hindu. There is one article related to Punjab parties unite against one nation, one election push. Now again, it's fine, parties are uniting this and that. We have, I think, I don't know whether we have talked about it here or not, World Economic Forum, yes. So, one nation, one election. What are the merits? What are the advantages and disadvantages? If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. Let me tell you. So right now we have 28 states, 6 union territories. So center, they have their own elections, like Lok Sabha election happens once in 5 years. 28 states, they have their elections. Some union territories, they have their elections. Puducherry, Delhi and now J&K. So our Honorable PM Modi sir believes that India is always in an election mode. I think we have discussed this earlier. India is always in an election mode. In some region of the country or the other, election is going on. When election happens, there is something known as MCC, which is implemented by Election Commission, Model Code of Conduct, which puts restrictions on the functioning of state government. State government cannot implement many things when MCC is being implemented. In a way, it paralyzes the policy implementation. It's not good for administrative machinery when these model code of conduct is implemented in the state. So to do away with all these things, to do away with the so-called policy paralysis, we need one nation, one election. When we are having Lok Sabha election, at the same time, let's have 28 states and some of the union territories election as well, so that we don't always remain in election mode. And the rest of the 5 years, we can think about implementing policies rather than getting constrained by these MCC. Now there are, these are some points which you may have heard about it. No issues, Sneha. One nation, one election hona chahiye, Khan sir told, Lalita said. Cool. So let me tell you something. Now, this is the point which we have discussed. One nation, one election. Why it is need of the hour? Because India always remains in election mode, and these model code of conduct, they constrain the political, policy paralysis happens because of model code of conduct. So these are good things, right? It will save money, this and that. Now there are other questions. Whether one nation, one election will undermine federalism. What do I mean by that is, see, what happens, let's say Lok Sabha election happened for 5 years, and then 28 states and others happened. Some of these states, let's say they lost majority between this 5 year, they lost majority after 2 years. Then what will happen? Will we have an election for remaining 3 years only, or will we have elections for 5 years? What will be the scenario then? Because if we are having elections for 3 years, many MP and MLAs, they will not fight election. They are like, no, we are not fighting election. We will not be able to, they are investing crores and crores in this when they are in election mode, when they are campaigning. They will not be able to recoup their investment. You may feel like, sir, what are you saying? This is actually a reality. They have to recoup their investment. If they have invested 1 crore, they have to get back 5 crore by any means possible. So they are not going to fight election. They are also saying that we are bound by central election. We are bound by Lok Sabha election. When it happens, then only state election has to happen. So if we are failing in between, if we are losing majority, we'll be there for remaining 2 years or something. It's not good. It undermines federalism. And the second point is, do we have enough machinery? Do we have enough defense infrastructure or army infrastructure or money or resources to carry out one nation, one election at the same time? The third point, which is a very, very important point, is one nation, one election can save time, money, and energy of our country and lead. Always in chaos due to election somewhere or the other. Very good, Shashmita. The third point, which is the most important point related to one nation, one election, is, see, when Lok Sabha election happens or the election at the center happens, and at different times, let's say election at the center and states happen at different times. So when elections at states are going on, or in different states are going on, people vote for local issues. When elections in states are going on, when elections in center are going on, or Lok Sabha election is going on, people are voting for national issues. According to different political experts, they have seen an analogy or relation that when both the elections happen at the same time, people vote for national issues over local issues. That will undermine state parties. Please understand this. Let's say we have Lok Sabha election and state election at the same time. Then what will happen? There is a tendency which has been seen that people generally vote for national issues over local issues. So many people feel that in that scenario, state parties, they will also not win because local issues get undermined by national issues. But when we are having elections at different times, national election, national issues are dominating, state elections, state issues are dominating. So these are some points which you need to know because they are important points. Did you understand? Sneha, Shashmita, Rishi, Lalita and others, Mamta, Priya and others? Cool, sir. So again, there are different political parties. They are saying something. We have to understand the pros and cons of one nation, one election. Yes, it will save money. Yes, it will ensure that we don't remain in election mode all the time. Yes, it will remove policy paralysis to a certain extent. But the other point is, will it undermine federalism? Will state governments be at the mercy of center? Will local issues be undermined? What will happen to state parties, regional parties? So all these are some important points to think about. Once and for all, can't we compromise on mutual terms between center and states? And for national interest, maybe it's ideological scenario. Oh, Rishi, you are giving me roses. Thank you so much. So central government, now what is the current scenario of this 129th amendment bill? This has not been passed. See, this is currently in joint parliamentary committee. So this bill has not yet become an act. It's not like one nation, one election is a reality. People are still debating over it. As a UPSC aspirant and a future civil servant, you need to know the pros and cons of one nation, one election. So Constitution 129th amendment bill, this is just a bill right now. It has not become an act. Introduced December. Now they can change this. Introduced in Rajya Sabha. It was introduced in Lok Sabha in December 2024. Referred to Joint Parliamentary Committee. This is the current standing of One Nation, One Election Bill. Opposition is going on in Punjab. It's going on in different states as well. And they are saying that they have voiced, different political parties have voiced certain criticism. We are not concerned with that. This article is just an excuse for us to read about the pros and cons of One Nation, One Election. Shiromani Akali Dal, they are saying that the bill is very harmful and then beneficial, undermines state autonomy. How? We have talked about it. The second, Punjab, again, they are just forget about the leaders. What they are saying, let's try to see this. They are saying, one party is saying that it claimed one nation, one election proposal contradicts India's federal structure. Because as we have seen, the state elections will be determined by the central election when it will happen. Waring stated that it could lead to form of dictatorship and suppress local and regional issues. As we have seen, when national election and state election happens at the same time, national issues take precedence over local and regional issues. Again, direct assault, and they are again talking about the different issues plaguing one nation, one election. BJP's justification. And again, the ruling party is saying that it would cut election related costs. Nobody is denying that. But again, there is a debate on this. Do we have enough machinery for the ensuring one nation, one election? That is also one question. And ensure better continuity in governance. Again, this point, is actually foolproof. Yes, there will be a continuity in governance. There will not be policy paralysis. My grandmother is asking me, किससे बात कर रही हो? Oh my God. Sanjana, my role model is teacher, philosopher, psychologist, not actor, cricketer. I respect that, Rishi. I respect that a lot. Now let's solve this question. MCQ 9 for the day. With reference to one nation, one election, consider the following arguments made by government in its favor. It would ensure continuity in governance. It would help reduce the cost of conducting elections. It would eliminate the need for a multi-party system. So they are saying, with reference to one nation, one election, consider the following arguments made by government in its favor. What government is talking about? Why they are pushing for one nation, one election? It would ensure continuity in governance. Obviously, because we will not always remain in election mode. So first is correct. If first is correct, eliminate B. It would help reduce the cost of conducting elections. That also people are saying that it will happen because we will not have elections so many times, once and for all will be done away with it. So second is also correct, eliminate C. It would eliminate the need for multi-party system. How can ruling government say that it would eliminate? Why would anybody say that? This is an extreme statement. This is what opposition is saying to a certain extent. Since national issues will take precedence over local and regional issues, so slowly and gradually multi-party system will be gone. There will be only one party. But this is not said by government. Government can never say this. अपने पैर में कुल्हाड़ी मारना. That means they will be just hitting their own leg with an axe. That doesn't make any sense. A is the answer. 1 and 2 only, as stated by whom? As stated by Shashmita, Ravi Verma, Priya, Rishi, Achal, Harita. Cool. So A is the answer. Sneha. PYQ 10 asked in UPSC 2011. Okay. So PYQ 10. Because we are talking about one nation, one election, etc., etc. So this is a basic question related to fundamental duties. So static, dynamic, everything. Even in Hindu, we will maintain, like, there will be certain static portion. This is one static portion. It's related to vote, etc. Just try to solve it. So 28 states and 8 union territories. Yes. 8 union territories, exactly. Sonika. 28 states and 8 union territories. Earlier it was like 29-7 when Jammu Kashmir was there. 29-7? Yes. Then we had 28-9. Then Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, they merged. So now we have 28 and 8. 28 state and 8 union territories as stated by Sonika. Sonika Lohia. Where are you from, Sonika? So PYQ 810 UPSC 2011. Fundamental duty was not there in our constitution. It was added by Indira Gandhi ma'am. Based on which committee? Swaran Singh committee. What was the name of that committee? If you know it, post it in the comment section. Fundamental duty. It is based on, like, USSR model. It is based on rule of jurisprudence. Where there is a law, where there is a right, there must be a corresponding duty. Rule of jurisprudence. Where there is a right, there must be a corresponding duty. So if you are giving you fundamental rights, there are certain duties which has to be performed by you. Very good, Sonika. So rule of jurisprudence. So to develop scientific temper, yes. To safeguard public property, yes. To abide by constitution, respect ideals, yes. To vote in public elections, no. So they talked about it, but they did not put it in fundamental duty. In fact, even right now, people are talking about whether we should include right to vote in fundamental duty or not. So the answer is 10A as stated by, who stated it? Harita, Priya, no, not Priya, Harita. So again, a static question. If you're getting it wrong, don't worry. This is your homework. Read all the fundamental duties and try to remember it as much as possible. Page number 11. I think Lalita asked, how do these black boxes work? So these black boxes, they are not actually black, they are orange boxes, and they have two major components. They have the ability to withstand almost 1100 degrees Celsius for more than 60 minutes or around 60 minutes. And in this scenario, the temperature, the Ahmedabad crash, the temperature reached around 1000 degrees Celsius. We have retrieved the black box. They emit certain, waves also, which enables us to detect them even underwater. So there are certain peculiarities associated with these black box, and we will not do the PhD here. We just have to understand some basic things so that we don't make mistake when it comes to simple question on black box. So black box record flight data in cockpit, or no, here there are certain words. They are located or installed in aircraft fuselage. Now let's try to understand. So this is your aircraft. This is the cockpit portion, where the pilots, they are all there. This is the fuselage, again, pardon me for the phonetics part, where this is the actually the main body. So they are located here. Many people feel like the black box is here in the cockpit only. No, it's recording the data of cockpit and everything, but it's not in cockpit, it's in fuselage, that is the body. So that's what they are saying. They can change these words because black box is in new so much. They can give you these basic information which you have to keep in mind. So installed in aircraft fuselage and operate continuously during flights. And what they do, they record flight data and cockpit audio to help in accident investigation. They are in fuselage, but they are also recording flight data and cockpit audio. So let's see what the current black box gives us information. So misnomer, despite the name, orange is very visible. Even if it's underwater, you can see orange better than black. So that's why they are colored bright orange. Remember these small things, static revision karna exactly. So components, there is a voice recorder CVR and there is a data recorder DFDR. So these two things are there, and sometimes they integrate it into a single unit. And there is a aircraft accident investigation bureau which is set in New Delhi, which will investigate what happened, and they will investigate the data of black box. Current case, they are probing 787-8 Dreamliner. Technical features, design coated with bright, or we have talked about this. It has evolved slowly and gradually from metal foils, magnetic tapes to solid state memory chips. This is, again, you don't need to do PhD here. This is the history of flight recorders. You can have a look at it. Not that important, just given for closure. So that you can go back and you can read these things. The basic premise is there is an audio recorder, there is a data recorder. That's it, what you have to keep in mind. It's orange in color and it can be detected underwater also because they emit certain signals. Cockpit voice, again, it's understanding of behavior and supports flight data and analysis programs. Now let's solve a simple question on black box. So they are saying black boxes are typically printed black to reduce their visibility in wreckage. Why would you want to reduce their visibility, bro? You want it to be seen. They consist of a cockpit voice recorder and a digital flight data recorder. Solid state memory chips have replaced magnetic tapes in modern black boxes. So now we know they are not painted black, they are orange in color to increase visibility. So first is wrong. If first is wrong, we will get the answer, that is B, 2 and 3 only. So that's it. Page number 1. There is another article which is there on page now. I wanted to cover this AX4 from such a long time. Every day it's in news. But what they're doing is, they're just deferring the launch. The Axiom launch, it's continuously getting deferred. So I was like, what should I cover? It's getting deferred. It's again getting got deferred, and it's scheduled on June 19. And currently we are having this talk on 16th June. Use elimination method. Exactly, Achal. So what we are discussing here is this AX4, this is not a mission directly attributed to NASA. This Axiom Space, it's a private organization which is dealing with this whole mission, where they are sending 4 astronauts to ISS, International Space Station, including one Indian astronaut, and that is Shubhanshu Shukla. How does he look like? Because if you see this guy, you'll be able to remember him better. This here with such an impeccable hairstyle is Shubhanshu Shukla, and he'll be going to AX4 mission. Now, let's go back again to the article. So, Axiom launch or AX4 mission, let's try to understand the people or the entities who are involved here. So, Axiom Space, a private organization, they are involved. Launch pad will be provided by SpaceX. Cool, sir. ISRO is also involved because we are sending one of our astronauts. to space. So now many people are saying that this launch pad and SpaceX is involved. ISRO and SpaceX are fighting according to different speculations. ISS, like ISRO, we are very excited because we want Shubhanshu to go there. So we are pushing and we are talking to SpaceX that launch pad should be. Obviously, we are, concerned about the safety of Shukla sir. So we are talking with SpaceX. SpaceX is not liking this one bit. So now there are talks that we should not have any differences. Let's minimize our differences. Let's, launch this on 19th. So 3 entities involved: Axiom Space, SpaceX, and our ISRO. NASA is not directly involved here in this. Maybe indirectly, yes, but not directly. So do remember, sometimes they will give you Axiom mission is is launched by NASA. It's launched by Axiom Space. SpaceX is providing the launch pad, and ISRO is also involved because we are sending one of our astronauts. So space mission to ISS, that includes Indian astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla sir. Tentative launch date scheduled for June 19. Earlier scheduled for May 29, then June 8, then June 10, then June 11. So it's continuously getting postponed, and this is not a laughing matter. Lives are at stake, and we have to ensure the weather is correct. So many things has to go right if you want to launch this. So repeated postponement due to technical issue and weather as well. Shukla sir, minister said that, again our ministry is talking about that June 19 is being seriously considered. It's not like it's a fixed date, it's a final date. And for backup, group captain Balakrishnan Nair. Very good, Priya. So ISRO's deleted an announcement. ISRO also talked about initially that June 19 is the date. Now they have deleted because they are also not sure whether June 19 is the actual date or it will be getting deferred further. So again, oxygen leak issue, so many things people are talking about. Falcon 9 rocket owned and operated by SpaceX. We have talked about 3 entities: Axiom Space, then SpaceX, and then ISRO. Resolution of leak. ISRO announced on Saturday that leak was successfully resolved. SpaceX and ISRO teams work together. Since they are working together, some people say that they are also fighting to a certain extent. Not like fighting means difference of opinion. ISRO recommended on-site repairs. See, they are talking about possible replacement, low temperature leak test, and maybe SpaceX is like, please don't interfere. Let us do the launch pad things on our own. And we are not liking this interference, so to say. Minister emphasized mutual cooperation between ISRO and SpaceX, playing down reports of tension or disagreement. Generally, when they are playing down reports, that means there was some reality. Let's say people are talking about Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma not, let's not go there. So some media reports suggested ISRO insisted on safety. Again, you can read this thing. You have understood the AX4 mission basic attributes. 3 entities involved. 4 people will be going to ISS. 1 will be our Shukla sir. Let's solve MCQ 12. Safety is priority. Hum to hase bhi nahi. Sanjana, don't say that. So recently Axiom Mission 4, AX4 was in the news. It is associated with India's first fully indigenous satellite launch vehicle, a private space mission involving international astronauts to the ISS, deployment of a military surveillance satellite in low Earth orbit, ISRO's first reusable launch vehicle test. What is the answer? Chepandis. Chepandis fast. That means tell me fast. Oh my God. So the answer is a private space mission involving international astronauts to the ISS. Very good. So I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of these 12 questions in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. You can join this group and you can be a part of my family. And I want to see you be a part of my family. Also, your score out of these 12 questions, how many you got correct, please post it in the comment section. As I have seen, like Sanjana, she will be giving this year's mains. But there are many people who I was talking to, I think, on Saturday or before that, who are like, sir, we have done, or we are doing graduation, we have done 12th or something like that, and we are thinking long term. So if you are thinking long term, you can join this 2027 batch of ours. You can use my code SHS Live. Batch is starting on 27 June 2025. Let me tell you some features. If you feel like you want to join it, or there are some friend of yours or competitor of yours whom you want to tell that you join it and you go ahead of me. No, that's just a sarcasm. So if you feel like there are some people who can join and who can get benefited by this long-term batch, you can tell them that. So how you have to join it, I think the people who are watching me regularly, they know it. So here in UPSC all languages, you have to go to English. So this is, we are talking about long-term batch right now. So here you will go to this long-term evening batch. And this batch, again, batch is starting on 27 June. You go here. This is platinum. Validity is 40 months. 40 months is a huge time, you know. 40 months means 3 years, 4 months. See, we are doing CSAT at the same time. So 41,999, let's say you add promo code and 3 year 40. If we talk about it seriously, you prepare, like people who are preparing for not 2026 but 2027 or after that, this is actually good. Let's say you are watching any particular video, a video on inflation or economy, basic concepts. You can watch it multiple number of times. Sometimes what happens, I had seen this when I was preparing. In some institute, within 1 year, the subscription is gone. I have to ask them for renewal and this and that. This is actually very, very tricky. Also, if you people have any queries and doubts, you can post it in the comment section. It will take time, Sanjana. So here in this thing, this long-term batch, this is 41,999. Let's say you want to apply my coupon code. Whose else? Obviously, you will use my coupon code. That's so obvious. So SHS Live, which is in the bottom section. So if you do apply, see here, 41,999, I'm showing you some magic here. So if you do apply, oh my God, tada, 34,999, reduction of 7,000. You can see how big. 7,000 rupees, you can give me a party in that 7,000. And then the price reduced to 34,999. I did a magic here. So that's how you will join this long-term batch, sir and ma'am. And on a serious note, live classes are there. If you're not able to watch it, you can watch it in recorded format. One-to-one mentorship. I love this part. I love one other part of it, or any such thing like, you know, if you clear UPSC pre 2027, they will initiate full refund for you. If you, quiz, like top monthly quiz, they will give you 11,000 reward. 11,000 reward is good, but I love that feature that once you clear UPSC pre, they will initiate refund. Answer writing program, prelims test series, and there will be residential program also included here. You have to cross check with that. And as Achal was saying, Sanjana was saying, Sanjana is going to become a part of MRP, Mains Residential Program, which may or may not be a part of this, but it is a part of 2026 batch. So there are some feature, and you can avail these features. SIP and CAP module. SIP is related to success in prelims. CAP is current affairs program. Prelims test series. Mocks are very important. Mocks are do or die. Mocks in pre as well as mains. Once any person join, oh my God, once any person join these regular batches, they ask me one particular question a lot. That, sir, which other books I have to read, NCRT, this and that. I always tell people that if you have joined any particular batch, trust that particular batch and then solve as many mocks as possible. If you start reading other things also, then no need of joining batch. Only join this batch if you trust people, if you trust us, if you trust our sources, and then stick to that one source and solve as many mocks as possible, which is included here. Cool, sir, let's come back. So that's it from me. Any queries, any doubts you want to ask here? Thank you, Sonika. I am wonderful, I know that. Sir, your way of teaching inspires a lot. Thank you so much. And no, she asked a very valid question, and we are talking about this like Gaganyaan, this and that. We are very ambitious. ISRO is very ambitious, so hopefully very soon we'll have our own space station. Live class duration and timing, it's a valid question. So there are two types of batches. This is a evening batch, Ravi, 6 p.m. batch. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 3 hours class happens. So you can attend this GS class and then you can focus on your optional, your, like Hindu and all these things. 3-hour duration. Fine. So any other queries, any other doubts, any other thing which you people want to ask? Or shall I be, as I say all the time, go. How to make answer writing, please tell us. So answer writing is a continuous process, Rishi. So you have to start doing answer writing from now onwards only. You shouldn't be waiting that my mains syllabus will be complete and then I will do the answer writing. So let's say you have read so many things today. Let's say you have read about AX4 mission, etc. So you can just write on Google, you can write questions or start writing mains answer on these topics. So that way you can develop. Let's say you wrote or read about basic structure. You read about Keshwanand Bharti case. So start writing one mains answer on that. So let's say you wrote about, oh my God, you read about India-Cyprus relationship today. So just take or just Google or write on ChatGPT, give me one mains question on India-Cyprus relationship, they will give you, and then write an answer. That's how you will develop answer writing skills. And the more you do it, the better you will become. If you start, let's say you wrote an answer on India-Cyprus today, you will not be forgetting the things related to India-Cyprus. And in exam, you won't have to think much. In exam, every second matters actually. See, eat the frog in the morning, Sanjana, as they say. So if you feel like right now, I will tell you focus on your optional. That is, and you have to revise your weak subjects in the morning. You have to eat the frog in the morning. If it is already strong, it doesn't require that much work. So yes, your weak subject, your optional, ethics, essay, marks fetching subjects, you have to focus on that. ठीक है? Any other queries, sir and ma'am? Or shall I be gone then? ঠিক আছে. So I will see you people tomorrow. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye.